See, I had read this really interesting study in a book called The Neuropsychology of Anxiety by Jeffrey Gray, and it's a great book. It's a very, very difficult book, but it's a great book. It lays out the neurology of our response to novelty and uncertainty, both positively and negatively. He outlines hundreds of studies of animals in that book, and one of the studies was a study of motivation, technical study of motivation in rats. Let's say you want to motivate a rat. Okay, so first of all, you make him hungry, then he'll work for food. So then maybe you have him learn this maze. He has to run the maze to get the food reward, and so he runs it a few times. He knows there's food there, so you put him at the beginning of the maze and you let him go, and then you watch how fast he goes to the maze. Now, there's a couple of ways you can measure his motivation. You can attach him to a spring and have him pull against the spring, and then you get some estimate of how much work he's willing to put in to go down the maze, or you can time him. Okay, so now imagine you got your hungry rat and you let him go at the beginning of the maze, and he zooms up to get the food, and he's moving at like 10 miles an hour. Now you do something different. You put him in the same place, but as well as him being hungry and going after the food, you waft in a little bit of cat odor.
Danger.
Now, yeah. Rats hate cats. They can't stand them. Even if they've never met a cat, they can't tolerate the odor. It really terrifies them. And so that rat will run towards that food much faster than he will if he's just hungry. And so, like, if you want to run towards something that you want, it's really useful to be running away from something you truly don't want.
Yeah.
And I thought so that's part of the reason we built that into the system. And I had a metaphysical take on that too, which is like many religious systems have a kind of notion of something like hell that's very well developed in Christianity. And so hell is where you end up when you lie. That's one way of thinking about it, in a very good way. You might think, well, is there any psychological utility in that idea? And the answer is, yeah. You need to know where you could end up if things went wrong, because then you're motivated by fear to move forward. If you're not motivated by fear to move forward, then your fear's in front of you, stopping you. Because you might think, oh my God, I can't take the risks necessary to attain these goals. What if something goes wrong? Well, it's like, yeah, well then you're frozen. But if you think, no, wait a second, there's risks to proceeding, but nothing compared to the risks of failing. So then the fear is behind you, pushing you forward. That's so you need a vision of hell. It's like, okay, what's your personal vision of hell? You let your life fall apart because of your own stupidity and your own blindness. It's like you're the worst place you could be in 5 years. Well, that's what we ask people to write about.
It's a great counter against the phenomena I've seen with people who start working with roadmaps and they just go at it from the positive viewpoint, is that they run out of motivation juice, out of juju. They're like, all of a sudden, like, yeah, we want to do this, and then after a couple of months, it sort of ebbs away.
Right, exactly.
And I've always been wondering, how do you manage that? You can do intervision, you can do reflection, that's all great, and it has its benefit, definitely, but lighting a fire behind you.
You bet, man.
That works.
There's nothing like consulting your existential terror.